But bro, how you been? This was probably the first week in which we actually did not talk to each other for the entire week. Remember? I know I was trying to avoid talking to you for the podcast's sake, but we did it.
Also, the thing is, my plans got canned on Friday, so I hit you up, but you didn't pick up, and I didn't want to be like,
I gotta tell you what happened to me. But what? Hold on, the plans, the date? What happened?
it got canned. No. It wasn't a date. It's a dinner thing. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah. No, like, so it got canned, but like it got pushed into like this week. So I was like, oh okay. Let me go hit up Gabe, to see if you're free.
You hit me up on Friday.
Yeah, but then you didn't pick up, so I was like, okay. So I didn't want to because when you sometimes double call someone, I was like, all right, well, the thing is, I'm calling you back so late, so I would love to work out with you because I feel like I always get the max.
Oh, gains. For workout purposes, you mean?
Yes.
I got you. Okay.
Yes.
I did not end up working out.
What did you end up doing this weekend, out of curiosity?
Dazel, our good friend, right? He's actually going camping at an event. A Snow Peak event. Not sure if you ever heard of that brand before, but we'll go over that later.
Okay, cool.
Well, the person that he was going to go with ended up leaving last minute, and he was calling up people, yo, who do you want? Like, are you trying to come through? You trying to come through? And he called me on like Wednesday-ish. And I told him, you know what? Fuck it. Apparently, Dazel is really, really into camping. He has like fucking crazy camping gear. He only told me, you only need to bring clothes and toiletries. Because in my head, I'm like, bro, I don't have a tent. I don't have anything. We do have a tent, but like, come on, bro. I don't even know how to fucking put it together. There's going to be madness. But hey, if you're just telling me clothes and toiletries, I'm good to go. And that's exactly what it was. Snow Peak, from my other friend, what he calls the Gucci and Louis of camping gear. And this was not just any camping weekend. It's like almost a convention. They all go camping. They invite people to go camping. You have to pay for tickets in the West Coast, the North, the South, the East, the West. And this was the East in New York this weekend. And these tents are like $500, like expensive white tents.
It sounds like it just got Supremed, basically. Like, when Supreme just slaps your name on something and automatically everything goes up by $200.
I'm talking about for real camping gear. Their camping gear is nice. It's worth the money.
Patagonia? Like Patagonia? Like, isn't Patagonia? Yeah.
I would say higher than Patagonia. Higher.
I mean,
maybe it's a little pretentious that you needed a Snow Peak tent to actually participate in this. But
I might say, but I'll let you finish. Sorry.
I'm telling you, man, it was a crazy time. And when I was reading the manual, I'm not gonna lie, it looked like Midsommar. Do you know Midsommar? The fucking movie, the culty movie
too. With
Friday, Dazel was there late, so I was on my own with no tent, nothing, and he was telling me every hour it got closer. Oh, I'm gonna get there at 7. Oh, I'm gonna get there at 8. I go, what the fuck, dude? I just drove 3 hours to be in the middle of upstate New York. But thankfully, the people there were so friendly. It wasn't even anything like Midsommar outside of the white tents and branding, the nice branding that they have, the nice gear that they have. I was 2 seconds away from buying a vest that's $360. And it's going to be, dude, when I first saw it, I was like, this should only be $60. No disrespect to Snow Peak and the people out there. But I'm telling you, everything, the stars aligned this weekend. We ended up finding a camp spot right next to the fucking parking lot. Okay. Left of us was an Asian family. The right of us was a Filipino family. And 70% all Asians. I was like right at home. And you want to know something crazy? The fucking wildest thing happened. I don't know anyone there. They did opening ceremony. We're all sitting around fires. They do their speeches. I'm sitting there chill on. And then 2 seconds later, I hear someone go, Gabe? I was like, what? And it's two of my motherfucking homies from St. Francis Prep were there from the Audrey days. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
I was like, what the fuck? So the stars aligned for the evening for the weekend just to be perfect. We foraged. We made prints. What else did we do? We roasted choco pies. We got turned up, if you know what I mean. The Filipino family right next to us hooked us up with sinigang and turon. I was like, what the hell?
Oh my
and
god.
they set up a karaoke thing. I did not participate. That would have been too
Why didn't you
outlandish.
participate? I feel like
It was too
karaoke's up your
outlandish.
alley. Come
I love
on. I
karaoke.
think
I
you're
know.
denying yourself something, especially because I know you sing really well.
Sometimes I
So,
regret it. I'm going to karaoke this weekend too. You trying to go? Trying to go? Hey,
is there something going on? Yeah.
it's not one of mine. It's not one of mine, but I'll let you know after.
All right, go, 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 go.
Dude, it was just so great. The guy who gave us a sinigang ended up giving me a cubano at the end of the night. I had a cigar at the end of the
Oh
night.
shit.
There
Okay.
was cell phone reception. I watched the UFC fight outdoors in my laptop.
Okay.
Bro, I was having a good time. Shout out to Snow Peak, yo. I know this sounds so wild. Coming from someone who hasn't even camped, is not even into the brand, within 2 days max, I'm already thinking like I gotta go get myself a tent. No Colemans. No Colemans were seen on site. Believe this, dude. But how about you? I heard, not that I heard. I was maybe thinking you had an event Saturday. Did you end up going out Saturday for homegirl birthday?
Oh yeah, so I went for my friend's birthday. Like it was out in Gantry State Park, so it was cool. We were right underneath the Pepsi Cola sign. So
Oh, word?
yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we were right underneath the Pepsi Cola sign, and it was cool. I ended up playing like we. I got there a little bit later just because like I had some stuff to finish up, but
Time frame. What time is
got
later?
there around like 4:45, I think.
Oh, it's an
ish.
afternoon event.
Yeah, so it's like afternoon event. Ended up playing some Kings, like the
Oh,
drinking
fuck
game.
you. Fuck you.
You know.
Yeah. Good game. I played that recently too and I
Yeah.
enjoyed myself.
But I ended up just going home like a little bit early. But so there was like two parts to this event. First was like the outdoor like
It's like a
picnic
rooftop.
type of deal, and then after that there was again I think she ended up going into Brooklyn for like bar stuff. But the thing is, in my office they're doing a lot of renovations, so I feel like my body was kind of just catching up with like a bunch of allergies and like stuff. So
This was on Saturday though, bro.
yeah, this is Saturday. No, but honestly, like I was like feeling like shit even. Like I was almost ready to not go, but I
Okay.
wanted to see all like I wanted to see her. I want to see all my friends, But then at that point of the night, I was like, I don't know if I could muster up the energy to like do anything because like I was a little congested at that point. Like I'm still a little.
If you're feeling
congested.
under the weather, man, sometimes I don't ever want to not go to the gym. But
Yeah.
when I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling bad. I get it.
So stay there like for a few hours and had some drinks and stuff like that. But yeah, by that time I was like, all right, I'm just gonna once sunset and then everyone was like, I guess waiting a bit before they started moving out to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm just gonna head back home. I mean, again, if it were a different night, I probably would have been out, drinking with them in Brooklyn. But I just kind of had to like listen to my body at that point and just pump the brakes for a bit. So yeah, the past couple days have been kind of just resting. I feel like the itch is still there to like work out, but again, I feel like because I'm congested.
Whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
was
whoa,
like,
whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. What were you doing Saturday in the morning that you could not? Because you said you came to the event late. What were you doing in the
Oh, yeah.
morning?
I was just cleaning up at home, like
You gotta
just
work out,
doing-
baby. You gotta go.
I was literally looking up online if you should work out if you're like sick.
Oh man, if you
So
feel like
it's
shit, don't.
If you're like congested or if you feel sick like above the neck, then you can work out with just a lighter workout. But then if you're like feeling sick below the neck, yeah. But the thing is, I worked out Friday, so by
there
that
you go.
Saturday,
Okay, you're good.
Yeah,
You're
so
good.
yeah, that like there's no need for me to work
I
out.
thought you did not
Saturday
work out
morning.
on Friday.
No, I did. In fact, I think the only thing that I'm sad about is I didn't work out 2
Sunday?
days this weekend. Like on Sunday. But
Get to it,
But-
motherfucker. Yeah,
I know.
we posted
I know.
that
Actually,
shit. That
yo,
was
it's
crazy, dog.
funny the amount of people who reacted about the six pack thing, which I guess it's good because, again, I don't think I've ever really expressed wanting to work out and do stuff like that. But here we are in 2024, and 2025, I guess, is like six pack year.
You fucking better
sh-
get to it, bro. I will lead the way. I will lead
I
the
know,
way if
which
it
is
must
funny
be
because,
done.
and I really appreciate the fact that there's a lot of people who are very supportive of this across the board. There's a lot of W's on the page,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's a very
Yeah.
humble, high amount for us, especially.
and I appreciate that so much. Even people who I haven't seen in so long and then just are chiming in. So I'm like really happy about that.
I will say, bro,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting good at those reels. I'm getting better. I'm getting better, bro. I'm
Dude,
not
that
gonna
was
lie.
a good one. Dude,
I'm
that
not
was
gonna lie.
pretty good.
I haven't been using the AI as much. in which
Mm-hmm.
I should, because sometimes it farms it better than I can, and like I can kind of get more than I need.
Yeah.
But week by week, there are some days in which I have dropped more days
Mm-hmm.
than none. Okay. And I get that. Consistency is king on social media. And I'm getting there. Maybe that will be the last upgrade. But
Yeah.
the very first reel, style wise, to how like descriptions, just like the editing and the tightness of the editing, the music, the very first
Mm-hmm.
couple ones, I didn't put any music at all, and I barely any put any hashtags. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of know what is fueling our traffic, and that's really because of the collaborator thing. Hopefully, it could come to the point where we don't have to collaborate, even though we will forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we don't really need to rely on collaborating in order to get our views, but it's been going very, very well, man. It's been going, and dude, they love you. They fucking love you, bro. Dono and Dualcast winning. No one has any love for Gabe, bro. I get it. He doesn't need any more
Oh
love,
no,
son.
no, 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 no,
He
no!
doesn't
Don't
need
say that. This
it.
is You are a huge part of this process. But it is funny that you bring this up because I guess so. We're obviously now more in the limelight. I guess like we're putting ourselves out more on social media and stuff like that. So one that I want to talk to you about
What's
is
up?
so a
Tell
while
me.
back. All right, so I guess let me tell you about what's on my mind, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the history behind it. So
I'm actually excited.
yeah, oh god, dude, I'm like excited and terrified because there is a Netflix documentary that I might be appearing in.
You're in a
Um
documentary
yeah, that I actually got interviewed for.
for
Um
what? Which? What's the production? Who's doing this thing?
I forget the name of the production, but rather the production company, but the documentary is about this girl named Heather. And if you ever look her up, she is kind of known or infamous for, I guess, being part of this Bitcoin hack in Turkey years ago with her husband Ilya. So I have nothing to
Did they do
do
a
with any of
Netflix
that.
show about this?
So they're doing a Netflix documentary about this. And the
It's a
thing is,
Netflix documentary. That's what I was about to
yeah.
ask you. Oh
So
my
here,
god!
so this is where it gets really funny. I guess how I got
Imagine.
kind of roped into this deal, right? I got roped into it because my buddy is friends with the director of this music video that we shot for
Okay.
her. So he roped me in because we hadn't worked together,
You
at that
interacted
point.
with her.
Well, yeah, so I interacted with her. So here's the thing though, but like let me just give you the background again. So I got roped into the project because my best buddy was like the DP on the project. So I was AC or like the camera guy or like the assistant camera guy on that job. And then he was friends with the guy who directed that music video. And
Okay.
so it's a very interesting music video. I got to show it to you like one of these days. But yeah, I ended up meeting her. And the thing is, it's crazy when you meet people who are infamous or known for bad things. I'm not trying to celebrate them necessarily either, but when I met her, she was really nice to me. Like she was pretty like I mean, I think her creativity and her art style is kind of like, out
Interesting.
there and very interesting. Like I got to show you the video, but for the most part, which again, she's known for something so infamous and again, like basically like stealing money from people, but she was really nice to me about, you know, during like the entire project, me like taking care of the entire crew when it came to
You got paid?
payments.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they
got
got
paid for this
paid.
project. We got paid like, not a lot, but she was very prompt with payment. Like that was the agreement for payment and she was like straight on with it. 2 years later, I was working, back at my old job and my buddy comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, dude, remember that music video that we shot for
Oh
Heather?"
shit.
And I was like, "Yeah, I was just thinking about that recently." And he told me, "Yeah, she got arrested with her husband Ilya for like stealing Bitcoin money from like I think the Turkish bank or something like that." I have to look up exactly. I might be confusing the details, but shortly after that, I think a few months later, they were looking to write or film a documentary about Heather. And so, I mean, out of just genuine curiosity, I've never done this before. I mean, I usually like to keep to myself, but I was like, well, hey, it might be kind of a cool thing to do for once. Maybe put myself on the other side of the camera. So I filmed that about like maybe 3 years ago.
You filmed the music video 2-3 years ago.
No, we filmed the music video more than like before the pandemic.
Okay.
And then the documentary, whatever they filmed interviewing me, was about 2 or 3 years ago.
What
And
the fuck, dude? You did this interview very long ago. 2 years ago.
Now they're like, hitting me up like, oh,
we gonna use you. Sign the NDA, bitch. Sign the paperwork.
Well, there's not just that, but I guess they're looking for photos and video, which I have to double check. I don't know if I do, but it's just interesting because I'm just like, oh shit, like, I wonder how I'm going to be framed or portrayed in this documentary. Because the thing is, when they were interviewing me, there was really nothing bad to say about her from my own personal experience. And that's the thing. Like, she was like really nice and really sweet.
What did they ask you though? What did they say? Like, hey,
well,
that
they're
lady?
just trying to figure out like connections and whether I had any idea or what type of person Heather was. And to be honest, like,
you had no idea.
Yeah, I passed my interactions with her, which I don't know anything about, and like only interacted with her for payment and the actual day that we shot the music video. But from my general perception of her, she's like a pretty nice person. In fact, like,
you're saying that now because maybe you can get in jail. You go, dude. I know your tricks, dude. I know.
No, dude. You could. I mean, I'm pretty confident the documentary is gonna, because from what the other interviewers are saying, all of us basically corroborate the same story that Heather was just genuinely a nice person. And that's true. Like, I mean, again, when the doc comes out, which is, I'm both like excited and terrified to be putting myself out there like that. But yeah, like, she was pretty nice. She literally made like a chocolate milk, like a special chocolate milk for like the entire crew, which is like pretty dope. And I love chocolate milk. Like, I love chocolate milk a lot.
You fell right into that one.
Yeah, I fell right into that one. So, but yeah, no, so it's just crazy because again,
That's
yeah,
so
like
nuts.
I completely forgot about that. And then they're like, yeah, I just received an email about like, if I have any like photos and like videos from then. And I'm just like, oh, I have to check. Damn, even if I did, like, I'm not sure how I feel or like what is going to happen with this documentary. I mean,
you may want to double check with the person you was working with that day if there's any stuff in contracts.
Well, because the thing is, I was like the AC for that project, so most of the data and all that stuff should be with, I guess, the director. Oh no, it's not with me. Yeah, like I was just the guy who was like putting the lenses on, prepping the gear, and vice versa. But,
wow.
Yeah, so I wasn't the one who saved all like the video files at all. So.
I'm not surprised she was nice to you. You don't have to be a mean person to do fraud.
Yeah. Hey, look, people do what they have to do, in this world to survive, right? And they don't necessarily have to be bad people. They just are trying to do what they need to do. So,
I think about it, but it reminds me of a Instagram reel where there was a business guy who was talking and he was saying like, yeah, like so many businesses and so many companies do a lot of illegal stuff, but they just never get caught for it, and it's all good. And like some small businesses, even the very basis of their business is illegal, and just because no one's saying anything, it's really nobody's problem, not even for them. So I could definitely see something like that for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder how much money that they made, because if you think about it, they're not going to make a fucking Netflix documentary if they made like only 100,000, half a million.
I didn't get paid for it. Like, I didn't get paid for it.
No. I'm talking about like how the lady, you said her name was Heather?
Yeah.
How much her scheme made. That's what I'm talking about.
Heather Rosal Khan.
So, was she pretty?
Heather's cute. Jeez, that's such a.
Did you get to see any? I'm asking the right questions. Did you get to see Ilya, the husband, as well?
Yeah, no, he was there wearing like a green suit, and he was also pretty nice too. But they were guilty of 4.5 billion in Bitcoin laundering.
Dude, I was just thinking about that. Like, take a step back from even the story that we're talking about. How much of Bitcoin and how much of crypto is straight bullshit, dude?
Oh man. Shit.
What is that? Like, I know that someone could sit across from me and tell me, yeah, Bitcoin is exactly this, and it does the blockchain and whatever and all that bullshit. But Don, what the fuck is that? Back in the day, if you were considered rich, if you had a castle, you had things, gold, resources, wood. What the fuck is the purpose of this? For real, for real? I'm sure someone could tell me, but like, isn't that outlandish?
I mean, my lingo and my understanding of Bitcoin is minimal at best. But if I had to take a stab at it,
Here
it's
we
pretty
go.
much. Shit.
I'm not
literally
even
thinking
making
about-
fun of you. It's just the whole thing in itself is fucking
I
weird.
just think
Go
about
ahead,
that
try.
whole time that Elon went on like SNL, and we were all like waiting to see if like Dogecoin was gonna explode, and then
I was there
think-
for it. It went down.
yeah, it went spiraling downward afterward because I think he said
Fucking
it was a
Elon.
hustle. Everyone was hoping for it to be
Oh.
something, you know. So money in its form is basically like a means for which we can trade and like, you know, again, exchange for goods rather than just simply bartering. That's just like a standard by which we pay with. So I mean, I remember like, oh, the reason why Bitcoin's so cool is because it's like, you know, it's not affected by like, you know, or governed by a centralized banking system, and therefore it has a static price. And oh god, I'm already ready to hear people chime in and correct my lingo about it.
dude.
you
If
know.
you were to tell me like, okay, Bitcoin is actually a formula that allows you to do something and unlock something, and it gives you privileges digitally. You need this cryptoness in order to unlock something else. It's like a ill passcode because now there's some value in it. Perceived value? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Also, it's hard to like it's hard.
Maybe we
to-
need John for this. But even he's a dumbass. He's not gonna know.
It's hard to put your to wrap your head around crypto for the simple fact that it's not like a physical piece of thing that you're holding. It's literally
Yes.
like a number that you just stare at on your computer or your digital device. And so it's as abstract as you want it to be, and it's as concrete as you can hope you can make it to be. But in the end of the day, it's like you can't really hold it in your hand. Like I'd love to be able to hold like a Bitcoin, but I guess they have those devices that are like true crypto wallets where you can actually see something. I don't know, man. It's maybe it is just a hustle at the end of the day.
That's what I'm saying. It's so close to even that. That's like, that's a little sus. It could be big enough for $4.2 billion operation for laundering, pretty much saying that she's could be affiliated with criminal activities that require you to launder money in the first place.
I don't know much about what she
Her involvement in it. You
her
cannot.
involvement. Yeah, so it's like just
You only
crazy.
filmed the fucking music video for her. She wanted to do a side quest and she needed a director and as well as a film crew, and you were part of that crew. What could you do, bro?
Yeah, but it was a fun day, and also like for me, I was like working with one of my closest buddies, so it's like, you know, it's like the first time I ever like worked with him on anything, and so
I gotta listen to this song now. I want to see if it's any good.
considering that we were on like a shoestring budget, like literally $100 worth in like combined resources, it actually looked
did
kind of
good.
good. Here, let me send it over to the group chat. Where is it?
Versace Bedouin. Hey, I don't know why it took me mad long. Oh, she's like a character.
Yeah, so this is her alter ego, like her rap alter ego. So it's even funnier when I think the thing that like I remember the
This
most.
is pretty good for $100.
Crocodile of Wall Street is actually kind of like a catchy name, you know.
That's her name, Crocodile Wall Street.
Well, Razzle Khan is her rapper alter ego, and she kept on referring to herself as the Crocodile of Wall Street, which it's funny now that you think about her being like involved with crypto. It's like it kind of makes sense.
Oh
So-
man,
So the
criminals
thing is,
and people who sin love
So
to
I-
show you.
I would never like I'd never really established that until literally when we were like getting
Yeah.
like I was getting interviewed, and I was like, oh shit, that's so tongue in cheek considering what you.
I hope they recorded that recording because that would have been so crazy.
Oh no, they did. They definitely did, because I feel like they did a couple takes to me saying the Crocodile of Wall Street, which is like, oh shit, like
That kind of
again,
makes
I'm like
sense.
I'm excited and terrified for this documentary because it's like anything could be like chopped and edited in any way, right? So
Was that her personality though in like regular? No.
yeah, that is unapologetically her.
You know, when you have $4.8 billion in your pocket at will, you'll just start to do side quests. If I didn't have to worry about money, I always wanted to release a rap album. Like that would have been my side quest. I would have made a rap album. If you had all that money, all that comfortable money, what would your creative outlet be?
I'd probably be like a DJ or music produce. I think I would do that actually. If I
a music producer or like a DJ on stage?
Yes to both.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like in my spare time, I mean, again, I'm not like good at it at all, but I love listening to music and like kind of finding tracks that work well in succession to each other and building playlists. So it's like mixtapes, so to speak.
You have a passion for music.
I associate a lot of parts of my life with music. So it's like, I think this is why, like, when we built the Cartagena playlist, for me, that made so much sense because whenever I listen to certain songs, it takes me back to a certain period of time.
100%.
And yeah, which this carries on not just through here, but even prior to this playlist. Like every year I create a playlist with music that I'm adding. And usually it is stuff from that year, or it's stuff that I just was like listening to on the road, or like Spotify. I was like, oh, boom, hey, listen to this. It sounds good. We know you like it. Through that, I can remember certain things or different parts of like my life by just kind of listening to a song, and it'll like help me recollect something that, yeah, I just anchor certain moments of my life to certain songs, which is great because if I just simply want to revisit, I guess, a time frame and an emotion, I can just simply listen to that. But I also think it's good because then I can eventually let go of certain things, because it's like certain songs used to be like, oh, like I would listen to it and it would take me back to like a past relationship or a past like love.
Of course.
Yeah. And then you're just like,
100%.
that's like a Harry Potter Horcrux, as my friend would say, where you just
oh
like,
my God. Okay.
You listen to it, be like, oh God, it's so dark. It's just making me like go back down there. But then
name a song right now that gets you like that. Name a song. Since we're there, real quick.
Oh yeah, I have a playlist dedicated to that, but I have a whole like
you have a relationship playlist.
Where is it? Hold on, one sec.
It comes with the turf, bro. Hey, what could you do?
Playlist by me.
Some songs 100% remind me of exes for sure.
Hold on.
I know the ex that come to my mind when I hear Chris Brown with you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So let's see. There is...
What's yours?
The Feeling by Justin Bieber and Halsey.
The Feeling. How does it go? Just say. Just say a little bit.
It's like,
the lyric.
Am I in love with you, or am I in love with the feeling?
I need to listen to it now. Hold on. Go ahead.
It hits like a truck. But the reason why, and I remember like I was just getting over like my ex at the time, right? And I was like also talking to, one of my friends and your brother, Jeff, and he's just like, well, maybe you're just in love with the feeling, not really in love with her. And then I was like, sounds like a song. And so it was on Justin Bieber's album at the time, like Purpose, which is like really, like I also really like that album, but yeah, that hit me like a truck because I was like,
surprisingly, I don't. This is the first time I'm ever hearing it. I've never heard that song before.
This is like all the first time like I've like I think ever listened to Halsey.
I love Halsey. She's gorgeous as hell.
I know, and so that's the thing. It's like this is the first time I got introduced to Halsey. And so here she is on like the song with Justin Bieber, and just like, damn.
Who that remind you of? The obvious one in my brain? Don't say.
Yes, the obvious one. Yeah, the obvious one in your brain. Yes. So we're just gonna leave it at that.
Let's go.
We're gonna just leave it at that, right?
I'm telling you, every episode is getting better and better. Bro. I swear to God. Let's go.
But yeah, it reminds. Yeah. If you, I'm sure you know who it is, and we'll just leave it
of course
at that.
That's it.
It's a Horcrux, but also thankfully I can listen to some of these things, and I don't have to think like it's not gonna hurt as heavy as it did back then.
Oh, it definitely helps. Thinking about it now, dude.
Mm-hmm.
When you said you want to be a music producer, a DJ, that's not very far off than a rapper. You know how effective music can have an effect on you emotionally, right?
Yeah.
And having the power to do that for others is such an honor if that's really your career. That would be such a great thing. Like when you were talking about music just a moment ago and being a DJ, like a bunch of EDM songs popped in my brain. And it's like I can recollect them and, beat for beat, word for word. And it's like, that's kind of crazy. It's like burned into me now That, you know,
Yeah.
somebody created that. I want to be able to do that too. Sick side quest, dog.
Like I like building these playlists because it makes me think about a period of time, and
Yeah.
it's funny because like, so you brought up EDM, and then I didn't even bring up like, yeah, Clarity makes me think about someone, and Clarity is like
Yeah.
one of my favorite songs.
All of the
from them.
Asians, all of the Filipinos all over the world, man. Clarity and Zed. You know when that song comes on, you're thinking about Shorty Low from back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, and I just feel like, yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
Like it,
of course.
it's definitely a song, you know. But again, even talking with other friends, because I feel like, you know, I also like to get their perspective on music and what they enjoy, and so it's like songs that people feel like hit them like a truck too, like "Gravity" by Sarah Bareilles, "Edge of Desire" by John Mayer.
Gravity. That
Gravity.
make me think of a Shorty Low from back.
Yeah, no,
from
so
back.
it's one thing that I remember I used to do with, you know, when I was just hanging out with other, like, you know, just with people, was like, all right, we're playing a drinking game. And usually this drinking game would be best with people who I knew had the same music taste as I did. So I'd be like, okay, so I'm going to go through a bunch of songs. And if this song makes you think about a special someone.
Oh my
good or
God,
bad.
that's a good game. That's the best game I've ever heard in my life.
So that's the thing. So I would be like going through like Gravity, Edge of Desire. This one's from way back when, but Don't
Which
Want
one?
to Try by Frankie J.
Oh man, that was like grade school shit, no?
Yeah,
Don't Wanna
that was
Try?
one time too. Yeah. Almost is Never Enough. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I think that also kind of are more for like the modern, like, or more for like our younger adult-ish stuff. But yeah, like I have a whole list of songs, you know, that I feel like go through like different waves of emotions and stuff like that.
In genres and eras in your life. There are certain songs that remind me of college hard. Remember when we were making those videos? All of the
God.
songs in there like always remind me of that time.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
listening to a song on repeat when I moved to Brooklyn, and whenever I hear that song, I always think of the neighborhood. Like I love that shit. Shit's good.
And you think of it also like romantically, because again, it's just it. That's why, like,
Sometimes too romantically that you don't even want to listen to it. You know what I mean? Like you're like,
Well,
it's
that's
too
the
much
thing.
right now.
so yeah, it's funny now, like, kind of revisiting old songs that like I've added to my list and considered like a Horcrux before. Like, I would listen to it and be like, oh, I want to be walling in these emotions. And I think now I would just look at the song and be like, I don't really feel like listening to you anymore. Like, I think I'm kind of past that time, even though I still associate that very deeply with that time period. But I'm also almost not shamed by it, but it's like, I feel like I'm over it, that I don't need to hear it again. I would probably no longer seek it anymore. That's what I'm trying to say.
Of
It's like,
course, good, because the era's over, and that's what's really
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, I think, yeah, one artist that I feel like I no longer really listen to, even though I associate it with the same one that you're probably thinking of, but have you ever heard of James Bay?
James Bay. I recall the name, but I cannot recall a song. A song does not play in my brain when I hear that name.
But yeah, there's a song called "Let It Go," and yeah, that song, like, I associate very heavily with that time, and just be like, oh man,
Which time?
this is like the perfect breakup song. Oh yeah, no.
Did you break up with someone at that time?
Oh yeah, this song was probably like the key song for that era. And
Let It Go.
Yeah, after this, like, you should
Oh
definitely
my God, I know that song. This song is sad.
Oh,
Once you hear the
yeah.
guitar, it's tickling
Yeah.
a little bit. It's like, oh damn. I know.
Yeah.
It plays at the bar sometimes, and it gets me sad.
Yeah, and I think now when I listen to it, it's like doesn't
Hurt.
hurt anymore.
Yes.
It's become more of a scar rather than, like, you know, that's starting to fade away. I guess it's the beauty of it. Like, I'm glad to be able to like let that thing kind of fade away and just become,
Once you get
like,
over it. There
Yeah.
are certain songs right now that if I listen to, trying to think of one, that will take me immediately back to not necessarily pain, but sadness
Mm.
because of a relationship, to be specific. Yeah. It's still too
Yeah.
fresh. Give me another couple months, and then, because you know songs are so powerful. Remember I was talking about with you outside of the podcast, like
Mhm.
the last 10 years have been honestly a blur. I deleted my Instagram, so I don't have the archive of the photos of exactly what went on. But when I look
Right.
back at it, it's hard for me to like pinpoint the things that have happened in my life. But then when you listen to music, it kind of jogs and shocks your brain into
Oh, yeah.
remembering very specific moments. Like there is a Billie Eilish song within the last couple of years that makes me feel sad. I
Mhm.
remember where I was. I remember where she was. Like it's very vivid. So, yes.
No,
Sometimes
it
it takes
takes
a
a
little
while.
long for you to get over some shit. Come on
Oh,
now.
dude, like again, so like I'm looking so I've been a Spotify user since 2013. So again, it gives you a record of when you added certain songs in here, which is cool and
Hmm.
also kind of crazy. But I remember 2013 because at the time I was still like, gangsta leaning music on like my iPod.
Ah, yeah, okay,
So
okay. I was like,
yeah,
what?
so
I thought you were fucking Soldier Boying that shit. But I guess that's
no,
the
no.
same thing too. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
okay,
yeah,
like I was a huge pirate music, right? I mean,
yeah.
any kid, especially in college, would still be, right? But what really made me love Spotify, and I remember someone from like our PAO days mentioned it to me, and he was just like, "Yo, like the good thing about Spotify is that number one, you have access to all your music, you can download it at any time." And to me, it was like, what? I have unbridled access to any music and I could download the playlist onto my phone. That sold me because when I was working on like my iPod Touch at the time, again, when you're pirating music, you want the files and the artwork to match like,
Oh
the
my
grouping.
god, dude.
And
Hell
I
yeah.
remember I would spend an entire night fixing my fucking catalog. And so
You're one of
Spotify sold it
those.
for me where I no longer had to worry about that. I mean, I still got my iPods like somewhere in my room or like my
Fuck
drawer.
that. It's done. No more. We don't want no more. We're done with that.
So the one thing that is interesting about those iPods that I kind of do miss, and this is the weird thing, which I feel like you would understand.
Hmm.
But back then, you would find music that no one else would find. It's like an underground track or an unreleased single
Oh man.
that leaked. And so, the power of knowing or having access to a song that no one else can. And you're
It's
just
like
like,
knowing
yo,
cheat codes to a video game when you were a little
I
boy. You know what
know.
I'm saying?
Now we have like now you don't have to worry about that anymore because again, case in point, we got Shazam. Shazam, bam, beam that up into the cloud, and the cloud's gonna figure it out for you, and you don't have to worry about like you can basically rebuild their entire playlist without them knowing.
Wait, hold on, hold
So
on, hold on, hold on. This is a side note.
yeah.
You have Shazam automatically linked up with your Spotify. That anything that you Shazam automatically gets made into a playlist.
You have to set that shit up because the thing is like that's why when we were in like Cartagena and you're like, yeah, I missed one song. I'm like, dude, I got you. I know which one it was
Nice.
because I already
Auto
know what two
plug.
you added in, and I know which one was in between the sandwich.
Yeah. I know you said that last couple podcasts ago, but I was like, let me make sure this motherfucker is not
Oh,
setting me
dude,
up. Is this really a thing?
it's so next level that now you don't have to go into your Shazam and be like beep boop 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 looking for it. No, as soon as you link to your Spotify, it's gonna have a place called My Shazam Tracks, and then
Yeah.
from there, like mine's already like probably 200 songs long, but I just go scroll all the way down to the bottom and I'll find like all the songs that I was like
Perfect.
recently listening to. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I think that's the one thing that I kind of missed, but we kind of get a version of it now with such unparalleled access to music where now we're just kind of listening to a whole like we have access to so much music.
It's still possible for you to find songs. You know how many times am I in your car and then all of a sudden I'm like, yo, what are you listening to now, bro? Like
yeah,
plug
yeah,
in
yeah.
your shit. What the fuck?
Well,
Because you
yeah.
kind of get lost in your own playlist, in your own version of this video game world that you live in, you know? You know what they say like at the end of the year? Oh, you're so happy that you're going to get a playlist of the shit that you've been listening to already. Like, why would you do that? But I love Spotify rap. I mean, Spotify? Yeah, Spotify rap. Oh man, I cannot even. I already know which is going to be my number one song.
What is it for you?
Vibes Weekend. 100%, dude. It has been my anthem this whole year. Oh man.
Damn, there's like 4 songs like in that running because like I feel like
Oh shit.
the first 4 months of this year, I was listening, like, but not because I wanted to, but because for whatever reason, even if you have it on shuffle, it's always going to cue into the first song you have, and then it's going to start doing like some
I noticed that.
Yeah, which is like
it's not purely random. It's like
it'll recycle stuff. So the algorithms kind of changed before, like in like years past. So in order for you to queue up different stuff, you have to like go to like an artist, and then once you finish playing the tracks off its immediate list or from a search, then it's going to queue up stuff that's like it, kind of like how Pandora would.
It's really fucking annoying because like when you're on Spotify and you press random, my big playlist of all my liked songs, which is like 800 now, right?
Yeah.
I want it to be purely random. But for whatever reason, whenever I'm working out, it's not always the same songs, but it's kind of like it's being curated. It's not purely random. And then for whatever reason, when the algorithm gets shocked and I'm like, oh shit, I do know this song. Like, why the fuck has it not ever been playing? I'm talking about just shuffle. What the fuck, dude?
I think they changed the way that the algorithm operates, possibly because they need to like
try to get you hooked.
Get you hooked.
Want you on the app.
Like one that's kind of gotten a little played out for me in the past week is Sabrina Carpenter songs. Because
I'm still not over it. I'm still not over it. I was doing my cardio to it. Not to sound all like whatever, pause or whatnot. It's just so, she has so many good upbeat songs in there. It makes me happy. And for the last couple months, I've been listening to a lot of songs that made me sad. And I was like, this is not good. I need some upbeat shit.
A lot of her stuff usually gets kind of like re-looped in my like playlist. So I kind of have to like jump between different genres. But even then it's like, it's not shuffling or adding a new set of songs as often, or maybe just I feel like the choices before were a lot better, and now maybe I'm just kind of gotten bored, or maybe you
I'm
have surrounded by a lot
if you're
of music.
If you're listening to that music all the time, you know it does lose its power, and I hate that.
Yeah. So
you ever had a song that you really, really, really liked, and then all of a sudden you just hated it? You're like, I'm over it for real, for real. Not even like seasonally. You're like, it's done. Yeah. I can't listen to the song again. Like what?
So this one's like, it's a Japanese song,
okay.
But I used to listen to it all the time. Like, I think there's like J-pop and K-pop songs I used to listen to all the time. Yeah. And then now that I listen to it, it's just like, maybe because it like, so when we think about music and we associate it from like a time period, and not that I think lowly on that time period, but I also think to myself, man, half of my problems would be a lot of that time would have been solved if I just simply spoke up more.
Oh, so you associate, but what is the song? What's the song? Do you remember the title or not?
Hold on, let me go to like my K-pop playlist and stuff like that.
Like it's so bad that you're almost embarrassed to listen to it now, right? That's the question I was trying to ask.
Yeah, here's one. You're gonna laugh at this one because
it's okay.
We used to Wedding Dress by Taeyang.
I can still listen to that song, but it's goofy as fuck. It's changed its entire meaning.
There's that one.
Oh, that brings me back to.
I know, right?
That doesn't even bring me back to. That brings me back to even before the heyday. Like we were still really young there. We weren't even.
That was the infancy of.
We weren't even running it yet. We weren't even running college yet.
I think that was like the infancy of like our early years of friendship and college. And when I say infancy, it's just like, you know, we're like hanging out, we're doing stuff, but I feel like we weren't even at like running the way that we were.
Exactly. Yo, dude, this was like when John Doe was still getting his haircut by his uncle type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day.
So it's just very funny because you ended up having to fix his hair and you had to cut his hair.
I can't believe that motherfucker let me. I can't believe motherfuckers let me cut their hair ever. I cut like 3-4 people's hair in public, and I was like, just winging it. For real, just winging it.
Dude,
oh my God.
You could have been winging it, but you convinced people that you could do it, you know?
Dude, because his uncle fucked him up. It was bad. Anything that I did was going to be better than what he had. Come on. He had to have said yes.
Funny because even after that, I forget if it was you or probably Jeff who put this wedding dress song on, like after you finished giving him a
Bro.
haircut.
That was when he was like at his skinniest too. Dude had a, not gonna lie, man. He was a looker.
But yeah, when it comes down to music, I mean, I feel like there's definitely songs that I feel like I can no longer listen to, either because it's part of a time period that I'm over either emotionally, or I feel like it just reminds me, not necessarily romantically, but just reminds me of a time that I'm like, damn, I was focused on the wrong stuff. And like, I was like,
Got you.
thinking like, man, I would tell myself back then, I'd be like, dude, these problems of yours, they're gonna be so trivial next year. I can promise you that.
Mm.
Like, whatever you think is gonna happen next, it's not
It's
gonna be as
nothing.
bad. It's nothing compared to what you're gonna see in the next couple of years. And not even to be worried, but it's just so, again, trivial. I
Mm.
think that'd be like the best advice I could ever give myself.
Dude, we've been getting a lot of activity on the Instagram. Very humbly. Come on now. We're not like an overnight
Oh, yeah.
success. Everything starts from somewhere. Rome was not built in a day.
Oh yeah.
But we have been in talks with a couple people about potentially getting some guests on here.
I'd love that.
We need a female expert. You know what I'm saying? We need to find someone in here. For y'all who don't know, we're actually looking for 1 or 2 extra people to join us whenever they can join us. It doesn't have to be as, all the time. We haven't really worked out everything. We would love to have you all the time. That would be ideally what's up. But we know schedules are crazy and we're a little crazy too. We're actually thinking about adding 2 more to the cast.
At least 1, but definitely 2 would be awesome. I mean, we've grown a lot, so I feel like we have a better sense of rhythm when it comes to our conversations.
Maybe 1 female right here, permanent seat, would check us, would correct us when we were wilding. Come on, we need some feminine energy is what I'm saying.